Hello students, welcome to online classes. So in today's class, we are going to start with the topic called mechanical properties of solids. So in this particular chapter, you would have already studied about the theory part. In the theory part, you would have studied about the rigid bodies, elasticity, plasticity, right? So like two types of materials you are going to use. One is a plastic, one is the elastic material. Okay, you would have studied about the Hooke's law. All these concepts you would have studied in this particular chapter. Like based on like Hooke's law, and you also would have studied about the elastic spring energy, how the energy is going to be stored there, types of stress, strain. So what is stress, what is strain? So stress is nothing but force per unit area. Strain is nothing but change in original dimension, change in dimension divided by original dimension, right? So SI unit of stress is Newton per meter square. SI unit of strain, there is no SI unit since it is a ratio. The ratio of change in dimension to original dimension. So you would have studied about all these things, right? Okay. So before we start up with the problems, just we'll see the formulas related to that. Okay, formula related to that. I hope you are able to see this. Okay, see the first one, stress. So what do you mean by stress? So stress is nothing but force by area, right? So stress is nothing but force by area. So next is longitudinal strain. Longitudinal strain is delta L by L, right? So change in length by original length. Okay. Next is Young's modulus. So what is Young's modulus? Longitudinal stress divided by longitudinal strain. That is nothing but Young's modulus. You can see the formula they given. You can see the formula they given there is. So what is the formula they given here? So FL divided by A into delta L, that is your Y. Y is nothing but Young's modulus. Y is nothing but Young's modulus. Okay, I can also represent the percentage increase. The percentage increase in length. The percentage increase in length is given as delta L by L into 100 is equal to, so that delta L by L can be written as F by A Y. F by A Y, right? So volumetric, or you can also call it as bulk stress. That's nothing but the applied pressure. Whatever the pressure you have applied, that is nothing but bulk stress, or we'll be calling it as an volumetric, right? Okay, so the next is volumetric strain, that is nothing but bulk strain. Okay, it is given by delta y v by v. So next is the modulus, bulk modulus. Okay, you can say it is given by minus f by a divided by delta v by v, right? So that can be written as f by a is nothing but pressure. So in terms of pressure also I can write down. Okay, I hope you're clear with this. So what does that negative sign indicates? The decrease in volume, the decrease in volume with the increase in stress. Decrease in volume, decrease in volume with the increase in stress. Okay, next is compressibility. Next is compressibility. That's nothing but reciprocal of this bulk modulus. Compressibility is nothing but reciprocal of bulk modulus. So next is shearing or tangential stress. So as you know that if it is shearing or tangential, if you take a cube, if you are applying the force tangentially to that, so the body of that part cube will be shifted to the small angle. Due to the small angle, there is a slight change in that x term, right? That is nothing but tangential stress. Okay, next, tangential strain. So what is tangential strain? It is given as theta. So theta is equal to delta L by L. That is nothing but tangential strain. Okay, I hope you're clear. So please go through with all these formulas is very, very important. Okay, right. The next is modulus of rigidity. So next is nothing but modulus of rigidity. Okay, it is denoted as eta. It is denoted as eta. So eta is nothing but shearing stress divided by shearing strain. That is nothing but modulus of rigidity. Okay, it is given by F by A by theta. F by A by theta. Right, theta is nothing but delta L by L. Okay, fine. Next is nothing but total potential energy stored in a stretched wire. Now the wire is being stretched. So the formula is given as the general formula, half into stretching force into extension. That is nothing but half F into delta L, or you can also write it as half stress into strain into volume of the wire. Stress into strain into volume of the wire. Okay, next. Potential energy stored per unit volume. Stored per unit volume of a stretched wire. Okay, it is given as U is equal to half U is equal to half stress into strain, or you can also write it in terms of Young's modulus is given as U is equal to half into Young's modulus into strain the whole square. I hope you're clear with this. So finally you can say breaking force. Breaking force is equal to breaking stress into area of cross section. Breaking force is equal to breaking stress into area of cross section. Okay. The next is Poisson's ratio. It is denoted as sigma. It is lateral strain divided by longitudinal. So lateral ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Diameter. So diameter by longitudinal. That is nothing but so length ಮತ್ತೆ diameter vary ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. That is about Poisson's ratio. I hope you are clear with this, right? So these are the formulas you have to remember. Okay, you can just go through with that. So finally that formula is given as delta d by d whole divided by delta L by L. Okay, so we'll move to the first problem. Okay, the substance the substance which shows practically the substance which shows practically no elastic effect. As you know that elasticity will be more in the metals. So copper will be having elastic effect, silver will be having elastic effect, rubber also will be having elastic effect, but when it is compared to the metals, this is very less. So the substance which shows practically no elastic effect is quartz. I hope you are clear with this. The next is the breaking stress. The breaking stress of wire depends on, it's a general thinking. It does not depend on length, it does not depend on radius, and it also does not depend on which area of cross section. The only thing it tells about the material of the wire. Why? Because copper, silver, right? So whatever the types we are going to material of the wire, based on this breaking stress of wire depends. Okay, fine. Okay, according to Hooke's law of elasticity, if stress is increased, the ratio of strain to stress or stress to strain. As you know that from the Hooke's law, okay, from the Hooke's law, you can say that stress is directly proportional to strain, right? So stress is divided by strain is nothing but y. That's a constant. As you can see from this relation, you can say that it remains constant. It remains constant, right? Fine. So the stress strain graph for a metal wire is an is as shown in the figure. Is as shown in the figure. In the graph, the region in which Hooke's law is obeyed, the ultimate strength and fracture point are represented by ultimate strength, right? Ultimate strength and fracture point are represented by, so OA, you can say it is directly proportional. Okay, so D is nothing but ultimate and E is nothing but fracture point. Okay, in the region OA, the graph is linear, showing that stress is directly proportional to strain. Okay, so the right answer will be C. Okay, you can see how, as we have already studied about this particular graph, initially it starts zero, slowly it starts increasing at point A. So the variations, I think you would have studied about. So at A it is limit point, at B it is elastic, right? Proportional yield point ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, right? So you are clear? Okay. So the region in which Hooke's law is obeyed, that is the first point, OA. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ you can see up to A it is a straight line ವರೆಗೂ, right? So it is OA. Then at D you have ultimate strength. At E it is nothing but your fracture point. So be very careful while doing the problems. Okay. So we'll move to the next problem. Okay. So identical springs. Okay, here they're given identical springs of steel and copper are equally stretched. Okay, they are equally stretched. We are going to see less work is done on copper spring, less work is done on steel spring, equal work is done on both the strings. Data is incomplete. So let us see that we have already studied one particular formula, that is equal, that is nothing but U is equal to half F into delta L. But instead of writing U, I'll be writing that as an W, work done. So work done is equal to half F into delta L. Okay, for a given force, I can say W is directly proportional to delta L. Right, I'm going to call this as equation 1. I think you're clear with that, right? Okay, and you can also say that delta L is equal to FL divided by A into Y. As you can see here, F, A and L are constant, right? F, L, A are constant. So from that you can write delta L is proportional to 1 by Y. I'll call this as equation 2. Now if you start comparing equation 1 and 2, you can say delta L and delta L is there. So you can directly write that as W is proportional to 1 by L, 1 by Y. W is proportional to 1 by. So from this you can write it as, it is, as you know that it is inversely proportional. Yes or no? It is inversely proportional. So I can write it as, work done in steel divided by work done in copper. So that is equal to Y copper divided by Y steel. Okay, as you know that Y copper is less than Y steel. Okay, Y copper is less than Y steel, but it will be either way. Work done will be work done steel. Work done steel is less than work done copper. Okay, so from basically from this we can say less work is done on steel spring. Less work is done on steel spring. The right answer is less work is done on the steel spring. So option B, less work is done on steel spring. I hope you are clear with this. Right. So shall we move to the next problem? Okay. So the final answer for the fourth one will be, so for it is option B. Less work is done on steel spring. Next problem. If the work done in stretching a wire by 1 mm is 2 joules, the work necessary for stretching another wire of same material but with double radius of cross section and half the length by 1 mm. Half the length by 1 mm is 1 mm is. Okay, you know the formula. You know the formula that F is equal to Y pi r square delta L whole divided by L. Whole divided by L. So this is the formula, but they've given the condition both the wires of same material, so Y will be equal. Extension both the wires is same, so delta L will be equal. So from this particular formula, I can say, I can directly write down that okay. So based on that, you are going to work out with that. Okay, the numbering is not proper here. Okay, that was the thing I was observing. Fine. Okay, there's a sixth problem. So from the concept what we have told, the material everything is same. So I can say directly, F is proportional to R square, inversely proportional to L. As they given the ratio you are going to find, F dash by F is equal to, okay. So you can say the second time when you see that, when you stretch ಎಳೆಯುವಾಗ radius ಏನಾಯ್ತು 2 times r the whole square divided by L by 2. The whole divided by r square by L. ಅದನ್ನ multiply ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತೀನಿ. Right? I'll multiply that. So L divided by r square. So finally I can write F dash is equal to 4 pi r square 4L. So it is 8 agata 8F. F dash is equal to 8F. Okay. Again, we have the formula. You know that formula. It's that W is equal to half F into delta L. Half F into delta L. Now the extension, for same extension, the previous thing what you discussed, that was for the sari. From the same axis, right? Okay, so same axis. So when we saw that particular thing, okay, that was for work done. Next to that is for the force what we studied. Now we are going to see the relation between force and W. I can say W is proportional to F. Okay, it is directly proportional to F ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ you can write W dash divided by W is equal to F dash divided by F. Okay, now F dash is nothing but 8F. So it is 8. So W dash is equal to 8W, but work done already they given 8 joules. So 8 into 2, it is 16 joules. So W dash is nothing but 16 joules. So option A. Okay, I'll repeat once again. We have the formula F is equal to Y pi R square delta L divided by L. And then instead of writing A, we have written pi R square. Right. So as you know that here the Young's modulus, the thing is constant. So since it is constant, pi r square, pi is also constant, right? So elongation, whatever we are going to talk, so there is no relation with that. So finally I can write F is directly proportional to R square divided by L, right? So I'm going to take the ratio F dash by F. So what is F dash? It is 2 times, right? 2 times the radius, the length will be half, the whole divided by L by R square. Instead of writing that, I've just multiplied directly. So F dash is equal to 8F. 8F. So the next we have the relation W is equal to half F delta L. So now from this you can say work done is directly proportional to force. We have the relation. So just we are going to take the ratio W dash by W is equal to F dash by F. Okay. I hope you are clear with that, right? Then we'll go to the next problem. That is nothing but the seventh problem. The seventh problem. Two wires of same material and length, but diameter in the ratio 1:2 stretched or stretched by the same load or stretched by the same load, the ratio of elastic potential energy per unit volume, elastic potential energy per unit volume, for the two wires, for the two wires. Okay, yes, you are going to observe that. Okay, we have one particular formula, that is U is equal to half stress whole square divided by stress whole square divided by y. Okay, right. So from this you can say, as both the wires are made up of same materials, so y is same for both the wires. So finally I can write it as U is directly proportional to stress the whole square. Okay, so from this you can take the ratio, you can take down the ratio, that is u1 by u2. u1 by u2 is equal to stress 1 the whole square divided by stress 2 the whole square, right? So what is stress? We can say it is equal to F1 divided by A1 the whole square, the whole divided by F2 divided by A2 the whole square. Now they given the two wires of same material and length, a diameter are stretched by the same load. As both the wires are stretched by the same load, you can say, I'm going to write it here, you can say F is equal to F2, F1 is equal to F2. So from that particular case, you can write U1 by U2 is equal to A1 divided by A2D whole square. A1 by A2D whole square. But I can write it in terms of pi r square, right? Why? Because they given the diameter, right? If they given the in diameter, I have to write it in diameter only. So A is equal to pi r square. But instead of writing that, I'm going to write it as d square. So I'll write this as d1 square divided by d2 square whole to the power 2, whole to the power 2, right? So finally I can write this as d1 by d2 whole to the power 4, since 2 common ತೆಗೆದಾಗ 2 2s are 4 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so what is the d1 they given? It is d1 they given. So according to this concept, the one thing what we have done, it is A2, this will be A1. The same way it is D2, this is D1. So D2 divided by D1. So what is a D2? It is 2. So 2 by 1, the whole square, whole to the power 4. So it is 16 by 1. So the final answer will be 16:1. So option D. Option D is the right answer. Okay. So I hope you are clear with this. So I'll repeat. So we have the formula U is equal to 1 by 2 stress whole square divided by Y. Since you can say the material is same, the Young's modulus will be same. So you can write U is directly proportional to stress the whole square. We have to take the two ratios. So yeah, U1 by U2 is equal to stress 1 whole square divided by stress 2 whole square. So I can write this stress as F1 by A1 whole divided by F2 by A2 the whole square. Whole square. So from this you can write, and also they given they are structured by the same load only. If they are structured by the same load, the forces will be equal, right? So F1 is equal to F2. In that particular case, you can write U1 by U2 is equal to A2 by A1 the whole square. That is equal to D2 square divided by D2 D1 square whole square. So finally, D2 by D1 whole to the power 4. So D2 is 2, D1 is 1. So when you take that, simplify, you'll be getting 16:1 will be the right answer. I hope you are clear with this problem. Okay, we'll go with the next problem. This is nothing but your problem number 8. So this is problem number 8. Okay, a wire of length L and radius R is clamped at one end. Is clamped at one end. On stretching the other end of the wire with a force F, the increase in its length is L. If another wire of same material but of length is 2L and radius is 2R is stretched with a force of 2F, the increase in its length will be, okay, so we'll go one by one. First you should know for the first wire, okay, for the first wire, you can write it as y is equal to f divided by a andre pi r square whole divided by small letter L is nothing but change in delta small l divided by capital letter L. So finally I can write this as f L divided by pi r square into L. Okay, that will be equation 1. Next, so equation 2 ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು second wire, for second wire y is equal to, so I'll ನೋಡಿ 2 times force and 2 times the length and 2 times the radius. So again I thought f is 2f divided by pi r square ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು 4r square ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ 2 times ಅಲ್ವಾ, so it will be 4 the whole divided by so I can say L, right? Now the length has been changed, so L dash by 2L. So finally if you see this, if you simplify this similar way, you will get it as FL divided by pi r square L. Okay, now I'll call this as, this is nothing but dash, this is nothing but equation 2. So when you start comparing, equating that, you can write it as FL divided by pi r square L dash is equal to FL divided by pi r square L. Okay, so finally you can say L is equal to L1. So option C, there's no change, you'll be getting the same thing. Okay, so I'll tell once again, you have 2 wires. The first wire has Young's modulus FL divided by pi r square L. Next, second wire, now the force, length and radius all are doubled. So since it is doubled, when you substitute that, finally you will be getting FL divided by pi square L, pi r square L dash ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So you are going to equate this both and finally we can say L dash is equal to L. I hope you are clear with this. So next, problem number 9. A steel rod of length 1 meter and radius 10 mm is stretched by a force is stretched by a force 100 kilonewton along its path or length, along its length. The stress produced in the rod is, so you have to find the stress. They're given the y value. Okay. So if I want to find that, you should know the formula. So the formula is stress is equal to F divided by A. So from this we can write F divided by pi r square. Now you can just solve this. You try with this. This is the formula. Just it is a simplification. But see to that you are going to convert millimeter to meter. Everyone try this problem. Okay. So I hope you would have tried with this, but don't use the calculator. Okay, without the calculator you have to solve it. Right. So you can see I'll just tell the things. So F is 100 kilo means 100 into 10 to the power 3. The whole divided by, I can write pi as 3.14 into R they given as 10 mm. So 10 into 10 to the power minus 3 the whole square. So if you simplify, you will get 3.18 into 10 to the power. That is very important. So into 10 to the power. So ಈ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ the only thing is you have to do is ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಪವರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 10 to the power 5 ಆಯ್ತು. ಸೊ 10 to the power 6. ಸೊ ಮೇಲ್ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ 10 to the power minus 1. So minus 1. If you shift that decimal also, so later if you simplify further, if you solve that, I think you'll get answer as option C. So just be patient while doing the numericals, concentrate on that, then you can solve it. Okay. If the ratio of diameters, lengths and Young's modulus of steel and brass wires shown in figure are P, Q and R. So the diameter you can take it as P, length you will be taking it as Q, Young's modulus will be taking care of R. Okay, the corresponding ratio of increase in their lengths would be, okay, so in this problem you have the formula. You have the formula y is equal to FL divided by A delta L. Okay, so you can say that. So FL divided by pi d square by 4 into delta L. So 4 goes to the, so again I thought 4 FL divided by pi d square into delta L. So now the thing is, ratio in their increase in length and it's nothing but delta L. So delta L is equal to 4FL divided by pi d square into pi d square into y. Okay. So finally you can write it as delta LS divided by delta LB. Okay. So according to the concept whatever written, F is directly proportional. So Fs divided by Fb into Ls. Why? Because it is directly proportional. So Ls divided by Lb, that is equal to, that is nothing but again, what about the diameter? It is inversely proportional. So dB divided by ds whole square, next yb by ys. So since it is inversely proportional, but according to them, they given Fs is equal to 5 mg, Fb is equal to 3 mg. So just you are going to simplify, and they have also given delta S by Lb, that is Ls by Lb. Okay, so it is given by Q. Next to ds by dB, ds by dB, that's nothing but P. Ys divided by yr, that is yb, that we are going to take it as, it's none other than r, okay. So what you can do, you can write it as, finally you can write this as, so I hope you are clear. I'll tell once again. We have taken the formula y is equal to FL divided by A into delta L. A can be written as pi r square, but r can be written as r by 2. That's the whole square. 4 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. 4 ನ ಮೇಲ್ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಫೈನಲ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್, okay, the final equation ಬಂದು delta LS divided by delta LB is equal to FS by FB into LS by LB into dB by ds the whole square, YB into YS. The next, you are going to substitute that values. We'll see that one to this equation. Okay. So ಯಾವ ತರ ಅದು ಫೈನಲ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ ನಾವು, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ LS divided by delta LB, that is equal to FS divided by FB. Next, LS divided by LB, right? So next is D divided by DS. DS, it is dB, but this is comes under whole square. Ekandre pi r square is nothing but a square. Pi is nothing but radius of curvature as well as so Fs divided by Fb into Ls divided by Lb into dB divided by ds the whole square into Yb, okay, into Yb divided by Ys. Okay, so finally they have told that this is nothing but Q, this is nothing but 1 by P the whole square, right? This is 1 by R. Why? Because it is Yb by Ys. ಆ ಥರ ರೇಷಿಯೋಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ YB ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದು ಮೋರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ FS ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಫಿಗರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ದ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ it will be dependent on the mass, right? The force will be dependent on the mass. So I can write it as, okay, I can write it as FS ಅಂದರೆ ಎರಡು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡು ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಮೇಲಿದೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಮೇಲಿದೆ, ಬ್ರಾಸ್ ಕೆಳಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಮೇಲಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದೆರಡು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ 5 divided by 3. Only brass is 3. So your final answer will be 5Q divided by 3P square R. So option B is the right answer. Okay. See, so once again I'll neatly I'm going to repeat this kind of problem just to see. Okay, see, the thing is they given y is equal to, know that y is equal to FL divided by pi r square into delta L. That is nothing but your formula. So but I want in terms of diameter. So FL divided by pi into d by 4, d square by 4. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ r square ಬಂದು d square by 4 ಅಂತ ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ d square by 4 delta L. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ 4FL divided by pi d square into delta L. Okay, I want delta L. So delta L is equal to 4FL divided by pi d square y. Okay, from this relation you can say two substance you have. One is steel, the other one is brass ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ you can write it as ಏನಂತ ಬರೀತೀವಿ ಇದನ್ನ, delta L divided by delta L. So for which reason? So ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ corresponding ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ steel with respect to brass. So accordingly you can write down. So 4 is constant, you are not going to write. So Fs divided by Fv, Ls divided by Lb. Okay. Now what about the diameter? Diameter is inversely proportional. dB by ds. dB by ds ಅಂದ್ರೆ it is square ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Area is also yb divided by ys. ಸೊ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀಯ. ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ದು ಬ್ರಾಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಎರಡು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ 5/3. 5/3. So delta S by B is nothing but Q. So dB divided by ds the whole square is nothing but 1/P the whole square into 1/R ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So further simplification ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, 5/3Q divided by P square into R. So option B. So I hope you are clear. So this is problem number 10. Problem number 10. I hope you are clear with this. Do you have any doubt? So that's about today's session. So in tomorrow's class, we'll see the continuation of this part. Okay. So thank you all. Have a great day.